Hey, you guys, welcome back to my channel. Refuge Tea here with my granny's closet, back with another video for you guys. How is everybody doing this midweek Wednesday? What are you working on? What is your whip? I am currently working on my tan. No, I'm just kidding. It's sunny enough outside. Actually, it's kind of gloomy right now. It was really sunny. I was talking to Andrea yesterday and her son Aiden, and they were like, you're gonna need this. And I was like, I only own pullover sweaters with hoodies and the little pouch. I only owned, you know, hooded sweatshirts. I don't own jackets because we live in Southern California, and the lowest it has ever gotten, the coldest it has ever gotten here is like maybe 36 degrees early in the morning, but throughout the day it's warmer. Like, I don't know what to say. Like, when I'm asleep, it reaches like freezing proportions for us, but like the coldest I've ever seen it in Southern California in the winter is 34 degrees. So they're like, you're gonna need more than a pullover hoodie. You're gonna need more than that. You're gonna need like insulated pants. And I'm just thinking in my head, what are those? So it doesn't get really hot out here, so I can be working on my tan right now if I needed to. All right. Enough of that. Today we're going to talk about inventory. How much should I make? What should I make? How do I find the time to make it? How do I not get bored making too much of it every time? Vendor events versus farmers markets. And, you know, we're going to get into all the stuff. But before we do, let's get into some admin and intro stuff. If you don't know, now you know. You can find me on Pinterest, Instagram, and Facebook, all underneath my granny's closet 3Gs. If you're interested in purchasing, well, I'm trying to say this really fast. If you're interested in purchasing any of the items that I do make and sell at my farmer's market, I do have all of those listings, shipping and handling, how I invoice on my Facebook page. So if you were wondering, you can go and head on over there. I do have a group page called My Granny's Closet 3Gs. No spacing, just add the S at the end, and that is where we go to congregate and conversate about all things yarny and crafty goodness. I know that the holiday season is coming up, so a lot of us are trying and signing up and trying our hand at vending. So if you have any questions about that, go ahead and head on over there. Let us know if you need help with anything. We are happy. We are a good community. It's a small, but it's a good community of lots of friends that will help you with any questions that you have regarding that. If you are new here, returning subscriber, thank you for joining me today. You're wonderful. You're wonderful. I really do appreciate each and every single one of you guys. Have no idea. I know I say this every time, but I feel like it's important for me to continue to reiterate myself, to let you guys know how blessed I am to have you joining me during my videos and my lives that I just had, for supporting me and helping me try to get to Rhinebeck this year. I'm having another live actually in a couple more weeks, and it's just going to be showing a whole bunch of my inventory. So that's what this video is about today. We got Mr. Flash here, and this is not Grant Gustin's Flash. No. I forgot his name, but he is in the Flash series. I'll put his name, his picture right here. This is the OG Flash from the first series. This is from the comic book actually, but the comic book or the series emulated the comic book so well that I, you know, parallel the two. But this is my husband t-shirt. I got this for him for Christmas a couple Christmases ago, and from Five Below actually, and I was just like, yep, they only had one size, and I was sleeping in my Wakanda Forever t-shirt, but I was just like, it's getting a little snug on me in the arm section because of these guns. No, I'm just kidding. Kind of in the midriff section is getting a little snug, so we're gonna be retiring that shirt unless I can slim it down a little bit. So that's the story behind this Flash t-shirt. All right, you guys, let's get into today's video. I was gonna say inventory, but we are talking about inventory. So first things first, how much should I make? What should I make? How do I find the time if I have a job and a family? How do I prevent myself from getting bored from making all of it? Let's see, how should I store my items? How do I prevent my items from getting damaged or frayed and fuzzy over time or from too much customer use? When should I start making my stuff? What about hardware? When do I buy it? How do I know when to restock that? All those questions are going to be answered in this video. So let's get going. All right, you guys, inventory. Let's get into this. What should I make? When I first started out, I just started out making beanies, and it was your basic double crochet beanie. You know, you start out with the increase of the crown, and then you go down and then you rim it with a single crochet just to get that cinched fit. Now, I started out with that, then I did twisted turban wraps, and then I started with baby blankets. Now, and then I started with my granny bottom bag that OVW made. It's not that hard to figure out what you want to make, but then I gradually started going from those beanies to my refuge beanies, which I'll show you in a minute. And then I started making sewn items. I sewed lining into every purse that I made. So as you go along, you will find that you have a larger spectrum for what you're going to want to make and create. There is no wrong way to find out what you should make. There is, you know, if you're like, I want to make just amigurumi, fine, go ahead and do that, okay? And then it's going to segue into how much should I make, but we'll get into that in a second. Now, take my friend Casey, for example. She does amigurumi. That is her main basis of selling point, right? But she also has bucket hats. She also has scrunchies. She also has little keychains that she makes as well. So you can have your main source of inventory, like the amigurumi or your wearables, but also have smaller novelty items on the side that would, you know, fit your genre and also give you a little bit more of a wider spectrum for the items that you want to sell. You want to try, if you're an amigurumi strictly person, like Alyssa G, she's strictly amigurumi, but she also sells pens. She also sells keychains. And she's dabbled in wearables as well. She made a retro stripe, let's see, what is it? Hexicardy? She made a Hexicardy, right? And she had that out there. It's sold. But her main point of sales are amigurumi. So take, let's see, Twisted Hatter and the Wickedly Handmade. Those ladies, they are awesome with wearables. Amazing. Now, all these people that I am suggesting, I will list them down below. 2 of them have, or 3 of them only have Instagrams, Facebooks, and they have their LINKTREEs or whatever. And then one of them has only a YouTube channel. One of them has a YouTube channel. So, that's how you should try to find your niche. If you come home, you sit down, you rest and relax, and you're like, and you grab that one project that is just that one pattern that you're constantly working on. Over time, you keep making it over and over again, then that's your niche. You know, I don't have a set niche. My niche is everything, only because, you know, and it'll get into the question, how do I prevent myself from getting bored? I get bored with some patterns, and sometimes I just obsess over it, like Rose was talking about in her video the other day, where she finds a new pattern and she just has to make like 1 million of them. That is me. But the difference with me and Rose is that she will continue on and I won't. I will be like, okay, I made 1 million of them. That's it. And I won't return to it. And that's just going to sit there until the last one sells. And sometimes that's difficult for me and my customers, but I also get customers that are like, hey, I like that one. Can I get it in another color? Sure, no problem. I do orders. Okay. So what should I make? Whatever you feel like making. I make a plethora of items. You guys have seen my booth space. And I'll show you right here. We're taking a tour. Now, I do a lot of everything. I do little boys' bow ties. I do little girls' hair bows. I do little boys and little girls for their chipon, their pacifier little clippies. I do project bags, notions pouches, travel kits. And you'll see in this video right here that I have beanies that I make. I make scrunchies, keychain lip balm holders, key fobs. It is just a large 10 by 20 space, and I make a little bit of everything. Why? Because I like to. I'm ADHD, but at the same time, that really doesn't have anything to do with it. It has maybe 10% to do with it, you guys. It's, now we're going to get into how much should I make, okay? I like to make so much stuff, but we're going to do 3 questions at once here. How do I prevent myself from getting bored? And how much should I make? Now, I try to make as many colors as I can in one, which is how much should I make? Take my scrunchies and my keychain lip balm holders and my key fobs, for example. Now, I'm going to sneeze, so give me a second. Crisis averted. I didn't have to sneeze, so it might come on later on. All right, we're talking about key fobs, keychain lip balm holders, and scrunchies. Here is my key fob stand. Now, for my key fobs, I only make 2 of each. I don't make more than that. Sometimes when I have a popular fabric, I will make more than the 2. Like my I Love Lucy, I made 4. My Wonder Woman, that one always flies off the shelf, so I'm constantly making more, so I make more than the 2 on an average. My sports guys, whenever a sports like the Raiders or the 49ers, those are extremely popular in Southern California, so I always make extra of those ones. So it just depends on where I have to restock, what's popular, how much I make in that section. That determines how much I'm going to make of the same item. So 2 of each in general for my key fobs. I make 3 of each. Look, okay, just pretend that this is the same color. I couldn't tell when I was in the garage picking it out in the dark, so forgive me. So we're going to pretend this color is light gray. So for my keychain lip balm holders, I make 3 of each. I make 3 of each of these, and I have different colors. Now, this is my keychain lip balm holders board. It's only one board. I have like 50 shades of gray. Ha! Just kidding. And then I have, like, you know, red, my red tones, my green tones, my blue, my purple, my pink. You know, I pick every color of the rainbow, right? And then I get all the shades in between. And I make 3 of each of those colors. So I have a large board with a bunch of colors, and I make 3 of each. So that's just keychain lip balm holders. Now, for my scrunchies, okay, I take whatever they have in velvet, because I only make my scrunchies in the Bernay velvet yarn. I make an XL and I make a regular size. For the regular size, I make 4 of each. I can get, it just depends on how much I can get and how much extra yardage they give me. I can get 4 regular scrunchies out of 1 and 3 regular size completed scrunchies out of 1 whole skein of Bernay velvet. Now I can get 1 in, let's see, I can get about this much done of the ruffle part, so I can go all the way around with the single crochet or the half double crochets that I start to use this one, and then I can get about this much done for a 4th XL scrunchie. I can probably get 5 medium scrunchies done and then 3 XLs, but for my scrunchies I make 4 of these and I make 3 of these, and that's how I have it displayed. Now this is my scrunchie board. So as a general rule, I like to keep either 2 to 4 depending on the popularity of the color. I like to keep that much of each color available for purchase. Now here's the thing. When it comes to items that were extremely popular, but then they slowed down, these have slowed down because the weather is not scrunchy weather anymore. It's sweater weather. Yes, I saw that meme. So now we want our hair down, you know. Now it's like, okay, beanies weather. And that's going into what should I make? How much should I make? So it just depends. I also have my cup cozies that I make 3 of each as well. So I have, like I said, multiple colors in this. I chose every color of the rainbow. Then I chose the secondary color to complement that color. And it's in the same shade genre. So green, dark green, mint green. And I put 3 of each. So red, maroon, burgundy, pink, you know, 3 of each. Now, when it comes to beanies, I keep my beanies out there year round because they sell. No matter what season it is, they sell. However, I don't make multiples of, say, I make multiples of all my slouchies. I make multiples of all of my skull cap, and I make multiples of my chunky beanies. These are called my refuge beanies. This is a this is my creative pattern. I don't have it out there. I'm not going to put it out there, so forgive me. It's sentimental. It's the last thing my grandmother saw me create before she passed away, so I'm keeping this one close to heart, you guys. So when I say that I make multiples of my beanies, okay, I mean I make 5 or 6 different slouchy beanies, and it's in different colors. It's not all the same color. I don't have 3 in this color. I don't have 3 in black. I don't have 3 in green because there's just too many colors to choose from. So I make multiple colors in one style beanie, and people have those 6 colors to choose from. I make multiple colors in my skull cap, and they have those 6 colors to choose from. Now, I like to do these in a, how do you say it, variegated type of yarn. And this has got, I want to say this is Vanish Choice as well as Lion Brand Chunky, Hobby Lobby's. I love this chunky. So anything that has a chunky, like maybe like a 5 or a 6, I use for my chunky beanies, and I always have a pom-pom on it. Now, when it comes to sets, okay, when it comes to sets like my kits, all right, I do have multiples in certain of them, but I don't bring the multiple with me to my vendor event. I only have the multiple here when I tell people, and I post it on my Facebook page, hey, I have this available in 2. I have 2 available. This available in 2. I have 2 available, okay? So that's what I tell people. I have 2 of these available. This got project bag, notions pouch right here. Got the travel kit. There's the stitch markers. I don't, however, keep them with me, like I said, at my vendor events, because I know that it's only going to hit crocheters, and who's to say how many crocheters are going to come to my booth space. I do get a lot, but not as much as I would like to get. All right, so another item that I do sell that I don't make multiple colors in, that I only make 1 in each colorway, and it does have a part or like a pairing to go with it or a matching item, is my market bags. My market bags do sell, but they sell sporadically. They're few and far between sales, so I don't make a whole bunch of them. But I do keep a like a color wheel specific. So I make this one. I have a rainbow one. I have a solid color one that's a neutral color. I have a bright colored solid one that is a neutral color as well. So I tend to only make these to fit the demographic that I have. Now, I do my cup cozies. This is Z's Cup Cozy. I just added a handle on it, and I'll post that link down below. But I do make it so it's like this. So you have your little cup cozy, and you can carry it with you at the farmer's market. So how much should I make? I compare that also to what, when you're going, you know, you're working on a new project, you're going to the store and you're like, okay, project, the pattern calls for 1 skein or 1 hank of yarn, because I have a hank in my hand. But you know what? I might want to make it slightly bigger, so I'm just going to get 2 just to be sure. And even if the project calls for 1 skein or 1 cake or 1 hank or 1 donut or whatever you're grabbing, then you're always going to get more just to be safe, right? That is a rule that we have generally for us crocheters and knitters, is that we always get more. It's better to have more than less, right? So when I say, how much should I make? Always think, I should make more than that. So think about when you made it last time. So when you went to your vendor event the last time, did that sell out? Did that particular item sell out? If it did, make double the amount that you made last time this time for this event. Okay. If you know that those items didn't really sell, then only make a few, maybe like 4, and that's it, you know, and only put 2 out on the table. If those sell, then put the other 2 out. And if those sell, then you're sold out and you made, you know, your goal for that one. Your goal is always to sell out in all of your products. You know, it doesn't happen sometimes, but sometimes it does. And when it does, it's just like you're ecstatic, right? So that's it for how much you should make and your niche. You know, you're finding your niche. This next question is, how do I find time if I have a job and a family? Now, I'm a stay-at-home mom. I don't expect everybody to work from home. I don't expect everybody to have the same kind of luxuries that I do being a stay-at-home mom. I do have a 9-to-5, which is my personal business. So I do dedicate my time from the time that I drop my children off to the time that I pick them up. And even when I'm waiting at the school, I do crochet, I do get inventory done, and I do set aside things so I can get it done and my inventory restocked for the market. This is how I find time, all right? Sometimes I do all my postings like on Instagram, Facebook, and where I sell all my items. You know, I do reels to sell and promote my items. And I do that in the morning when my kids are getting ready. Or, you know, I come home and I take that relaxing hour to, because it takes a lot of, guys, it is a lot of, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. To get everything posted on social media, to do everything you need to do to make a sale, you know. And right now I'm kind of scrambling because I want to earn money to go to Rhinebeck and buy as much as I can for yarn and whatever. So right now I'm just like, okay, what should I make next? When's my next live? Blah, 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 blah. But we're getting off topic. So how do I find the time? Okay. I myself personally, when my kids are gone, I take that time, I sit down, I crochet or I sew and get things done that way. Now, when I go pick up my kids from school, I get there an hour early. You guys know how I feel about the parking situation. So I get there an hour early and I sit and I wait for my kids to get out of school. And you're asking me, Refuge, why do you get there an hour early to go pick up your kids? Because I need to find parking. So I crochet and I get inventory done while I'm waiting for my kids. Now, when they come home, okay, this is how I balance my family and my work time. My kids come home, my 2 little ones. I sit and I watch, I take the time, we chill. When my oldest son gets out of school, I go and I pick him up. Now, I don't get there an hour early like I do for my other 2. I get there anywhere between 15 and 20 minutes before he gets out, because the parking situation isn't that bad at his school. Leaving the school, it's pretty horrible. Trying to get out, it's pretty horrible. I pick up my son, and if I always bring something with me just in case, if I feel like it. If not, I just sit there and I chill and I watch a video and I play a word game on my tablet or my Nook, or I read a book or something, because it's only 15 minutes and sometimes I want to give myself a rest with my hands and I just chill. 15-minute break, come home, and then by the time I come home, I see how much I can get done between the hour, that I bring my son home and the time I have to start making dinner. So I start making dinner at 4:30. We do early dinners around here, guys. We don't eat, try not to eat past 5:30, but if it happens, it happens. So, and then when after dinner is ready, if I have a project that I can sit down and crochet, then I do that and I sit with my kids and we'll watch a movie before bedtime. When everybody goes to bed, that is when I can do a lot more of my stuff. Sometimes I stay up till midnight. Sometimes I stay up till 2 a.m. It just depends on what I'm working on. If it's an order, that's how I get my inventory done. That is for me personally. I'm not saying that you have to squeeze in every possible moment to get something done for your projects, but if you know that you can get away with staying up until maybe like 10 or 11, and you can still have between 6 to 8 hours sleep before you have to go to work, try it out. I'm not saying to do it. I'm not encouraging it. I'm just saying that if that's the only time that you can get it done, do it. You know, and it goes into how much should I make, okay? There's no general rule. Let's get into how do I prevent myself from getting bored. Like I said, I work from the time my kids go to school till they get out. I give myself that time to work on one project. Say I need to restock on my keychain lip balm holders. I grab all the colors that I need to do. I grab my list of the colors that I need to inventory or restock. I grab all the things that I need and I set it there. I give myself from the time that I sit down to the time my alarm goes off to get as many of those done as possible. Now, if I finish them in an hour, then I have a secondary project that I work on, which is possibly going to be scrunchies. Now, I have holes on my board. Let me see which ones that I need to get done. So I pull up the picture. I start writing down. I start getting my inventory ready. I get all the colors if I do have it. If not, I make a secondary list of all the colors that I need to go back and purchase from Joann's or wherever I'm purchasing the Bernay velvet yarn. Now, then when the kids get home, I spend time with them. And then before dinner, you know, I have that hour time. I work on a separate project that I know I can get done. Now, it could be a large project and it could be like a pocket shawl or an oleander hooded scarf. And I can work on those large projects and give myself an hour to get more of it done. And when the kids go to sleep at night, I choose a different project to work on. So throughout the day, I give myself a time frame and I give myself a section of time during the day, when they all come home, after dinner, when everybody's asleep. That is when I give myself those different time slots to work on different projects, and that's how I prevent myself from getting bored. Because as you guys all know, I am ADHD. I don't know how many times I said it in this video, but I am, and this is why I'm crazy. And that's how I keep myself busy. Now, if I'm working on a large project and it's a never-ending project, this is what I do for myself. I don't expect you guys to do it either. I do it because this is how my brain functions. I have the TV going, so I'm watching a series, a YouTube video, whatever. I have my earbuds in because I'm listening to music or an audiobook, and I have my Nook in front of me because I'm either watching something else or I'm reading a book. Now, I do those things multiple times while I'm working on a project. It's like, it's easy for me to get it done. Like, my son has walked in and like, Mom, what the heck are you doing? I'm like, this is how I function sometimes, because if it's a boring project for me, because, you know, you're all gung-ho in the beginning, you're like, yeah. And then you get to that point, you're just like, oh my gosh, when is this going to end? It's going to be worth it. And you have to pep talk yourself and you're just like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? So that's how I prevent myself from getting bored when it's just one big project. So I'm not saying that you got to try it, but don't knock it till you do try it. All right, next up, how should I store my items? Now, storing your items, I do have bins that I put everything in for my farmer's market, and each bin has a designated area. Like my beanies, anything that goes on the head. I have my beanies here. I have my turban head wraps that are here. Those that go on the head, they go inside one bin. All my scrunchies have a designated scrunchie bin, and they get in that same bin every single time. all of my novelties, like say my hair bows, my bow ties, my chipone holders, what are these called, pacifier holders, my cup cozies, okay, those are all novelty items. My keychain lip balm holders and my key fobs, they all go in just one big bag. They go in one big bin. Okay, there's enough that I don't have to like be like, okay, this goes in a separate box. No, they all stay in their own little tray, and I stack them on top of each other like that, and I stack that on top of that, and then another larger tray gets all of these in it, and then I stack that, and they go inside just one bin. And all of my wearables, like my ponchos and my wild oleander hooded scarves, those go in one bin. My shawls and my perfect pocket shawls go in one bin. So everything has a designated bin that I put everything in. My mason jars with all the glass go in one bin, and anything that is loose, like my crocheted water balloons or my leggy froggies, they go in there. And all my purses, so anything that carries something inside it, like say my market bags or my project bag bundles or my purses, those all go in one separate bin as well. So everything has a designated area. That's how I store all of my items. Number 6, how do I prevent my items from getting damaged or frayed and fuzzy over time or from too much customer use? Now, crochet, yarn, fibers, those, they fray, they frizz, and sometimes it's difficult to try and keep them keep them from doing that and preventing customers from touching all your items. This is what I do. I package my items. Now this is not a crocheted item, it is a sewn item, and this is the pacifier clip. And I just had my, what did I do with it? Oh yeah. Now I have my cup cozies here that are packaged. I get people that want to try them on their cups, even though I have a display one there that they can use, but they're like, no, this is the color I want to try it in if I'm going to buy it. Well, I'm sorry, I can't bargain on an if. I'm not going to stretch out an item just so that you could say, it's not the color I wanted, and try to shove it back in the packaging. I don't do that. I like to preserve my items, and you shouldn't feel bad about telling your customers no, because you can tell the difference between a looky-loo and someone who's going to purchase an item from you. Now, I am going to be phasing out these cozies for these cozies eventually, but I'm going to be packaging these as well and leaving one to display out there just so that folks can have a visual aid. And it's always easier to have a visual aid out there for people, because then it prevents them even more from trying to be like, oh, let me do this, let me do that. Especially with the beanies, you guys. I used to be a licensed hairstylist. Now I still do hair, but it's only for family. So I am huge when it comes to cleanliness, when it comes to items that go on people's head and hair, okay? That's why I packaged these. I don't want them to try, oh, can I try it on and put it on my little girl's hair? I'm sorry, I know it's a baby, I know it's a little girl, but no, you can't do that, because I want to preserve the cleanliness of my product for anything that goes on the head. So that's what I do to prevent people from fraying and frizzing and touching and putting holes. Now, I've had customers come up to my items and they like to do this. Kids and adults. Adults do it as well. So I just like, can you please stop? Can you not do that? I'm so sorry. Or they have a cup in their hand, they're holding it, and then they wipe their hand all over it. And I know what they're doing. They want to feel the softness of it, but at the same time, they're wiping the condensation that they just got from their cup onto my product. And I don't appreciate that. So that's what I do. I package items, certain items. Now, I get, people are like, does this fit this? Does this fit that? Yes, it does. They'll take my word for it. They'll take it. How many times can you wrap this in your hair and it'll be okay? Now, scrunchies, I don't let absolutely nobody put in their hair, because that just, no, okay? Yeah. All right. I hope that helped with how to prevent, like, storage wise as well. Make sure that everything has its own bag. Now, for my keychain lip balm holders and my key fobs, they all go with their own separate bag, and then they go inside the bin, the novelty bin. Stitch markers as well, I don't leave them out there to hang. I put them in a little bag, and it prevents people from trying to put them in their ears, because that one is an extra no-no. Now, the next big question is, when should I start making my stuff? ASAP. I generally say, like, if you know that an event is coming up in a couple months, start then. If you know you're going to be signing up for a particular event coming in the holiday season, start during the beginning of summer and start making your inventory then. If you get events during the summertime, hey, you're ahead of the game. But start making your holiday stuff during the summertime, and vice versa. Start after everything is sold out for your holiday seasons. Start making your summer and spring items for Valentine's Day, Easter, for St. Patrick's Day, whatever it is that you guys celebrate. Start making those products for that upcoming season. Always start months in advance. Now, if you're a late starter, or if you're like me, I am not a procrastinator, but ADHD is a thing where it's not procrastinating. It's just that you can't get enough energy to try and convince yourself to get up and do it. I've been telling myself I need to make Oogie Boogie, like the burlap chap hoodies. I keep telling myself because there are my big sellers, and I want to make 4 of them because I have events coming up, but I just can't get myself to start making them. But I started one last night, so now I have the energy to do it. So it's all about getting yourself, convincing your brain. Like for me, I have to visualize myself doing it. Like, close my eyes, think about doing it, and then I know I'm going to do it. And that's just how I function. So when should I start making stuff? As early as possible. If you have 2 weeks in, then it's crunch time. You're going to be exhausted. You're going to be staying up all hours of the night trying to get things done. Sometimes when I'm working on a major project and I want to get certain things done for a particular event because I know it's going to sell big, because it always sells big there, I stay up until the last possible minute. Sometimes I can't even sleep, and sometimes I don't sleep, and I can fully function the next day. But that's just me. Don't do what I do, okay, you guys? Now, something that a lot of us tend to forget when it comes to inventory is, what about hardware? When do I buy it? How do I know when to restock? How much should I buy for it? When I mean hardware, I mean like not just buttons, okay, you guys? Not just buttons. What I mean by hardware is this. The silver clasps that go on the key fobs. The lobster claws that go here. Extra inventory, like your cups that go for your, mason jars, or your straws that go for my mason jars. When I do my project bags, I always make sure that I have these in stock, because these are the grippers for the drawstrings. Because if I don't have them in stock, then I'm out of luck, And then I have all of my, I have to put these all back together, but I have all of my shoelaces all right here in stock, okay? And then we can't forget about this, the yarn, but that's besides the point, okay? And you get your little clippies for the back of your stuff, hardware, all of this stuff that comes with making stitch markers. And I know they look like earrings, but they're not. So when do I buy it? How do I know when to restock? Okay, so my general rule is I don't get lower than 10. If I have less than 10, I'm panicking, because I know I'm making a bulk order, or not a bulk order, but I know I'm making that particular item in bulk, and are they gonna be here on time when I finish them, and am I gonna have enough? So I need to make sure that I have at least 10 in stock at the moment, and once I get to that 10, I go back and I order more. So that's how I know. And I always order at least 2 weeks in advance. Why? Because it gives that order enough time for, like, say, oh, you order it on Monday, it's going to be here on Thursday. Or you order it on Monday and they said it's going to be there the next day, or on Wednesday. But it doesn't actually get there. There's delays. So you have to cover, you know, that time frame for delays. You have to make time for that. Now, the next thing we're going to talk about is farmers market versus vendor events. Now, your farmers markets, you're always going to want to be upkeep. It's always going to be upkeep. Now, mine is from Saturday to Saturday, so I have from Saturday evening to Friday night to get inventory and restock all of the items that I have holes in and that I need to get. So if I run out of, say, things for my travel kits, Saturday, right at the market, when I look at everything and I figure out, okay, I need to get this, I start writing things down. I take pictures, then I come home, I make lists, and I know I got to make this many orders for my bulk in my travel kit stuff that goes inside of it. I got to go to Hobby Lobby and I got to get this stuff. So I have about 6 days to get everything done, all my inventory here, everything put together to restock the holes in my inventory for farmers market. Now, for vendor events, it's not that stressful. It's not that crazy. You can totally relax if you have enough time. It coincides with when should I get started, okay? So, but I always say, like I said earlier, when it says how much should I make, you make more than you're supposed to, more than you want to, and more than you think you're going to sell, okay? I don't know if that made sense. More than you're supposed to, more than you want to, and more than you think you're going to sell. That is a rule that I have for myself. So you want to give yourself enough time to make all that stuff, but you're thinking, well, Refuge, I don't want to be stuck with all of those things. Yes, you do. Why? Because your next vendor event, you're not going to have to make as much if you don't sell it at that event you're planning to sell it at for the first one. So you want to save it. Now you're thinking, well, I just want to try this one and I don't want to try it again if it doesn't work out. Okay, vendor events are hit and miss. I don't want you to get your hopes up and then your hopes are crushed because you don't do as well as you thought you were going to do. Like you see other people like you're selling, you're doing great, you know? Even seasoned vendors like myself, when I do the farmer's market, like this farmer's market, I really didn't made under $200. It was worth it to go there because I didn't have that before, and I can use that money to go towards my next project that I'm going to do, or save for Rhinebeck like I'm doing right now. Okay, so it's little by little. So it's always a hit and miss. Don't get disappointed because you didn't do well this time and be like, well, I tried it. Didn't work out for me. Now, if you didn't like the atmosphere, if you didn't like the, you know, atmosphere or some of the people that walked by, you know, you didn't get good vibes from everybody, well then don't go back to that event. Try a different one and see what works for you. Okay, and your inventory has a lot to do with it. How you're packaging, how you're displaying it, how much you made. Did you make enough in that one color to help you out to sell to multiple people with that one color? So that is, in a nutshell, what inventory is all about. I'm sorry if it was really long and convoluted, but I hope that I answered some questions, and I hope that I was able to give you guys enough information about inventory. If there is another subject that you want me to hit on next about farmers market and vendor events, please let me know and I will answer them for you. That is it for me today, you guys. I hope you liked this video. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to ring that notification bell. Click on the all button. It'll notify you when I drop another video. You guys don't forget to have a blessed rest of your Wednesday and a blessed rest of your week, and I will see you next time. Peace out. So it's when do I know? So we're gonna get to in a lot. They're gonna get to in a lot today. We're gonna get to in a lot today. Today's video is gonna be about inventory. How much should I make? I do have all the listings, photos, and the shipping explanations, inventory, not inventory. We got socks. I don't know what I'm thinking. You know, all the shades within that color scheme, realm, color way. Ha, there we go. Colorway. Sorry. So I do 3 of each. This is going to be my blooper section right here. So bad. I'm already distracted. Sorry, guys. Sorry, I was trying to get the lighting right. It's like my amazing flash over there. I'm in a flash mood because I got the flash right behind me. The flash right on top of... Well, I shouldn't say that. Honey, I'm sorry. Forgive me. Flash is not... He's on my shirt, okay? So, when I say that I make multiples of my slouchy scrunchy. So, when I drop my kids off, I come home, I do my social media. Sometimes I do my social media. I don't know why I can't say that right now. My social media. I can't say my social media. That's why I get there early. Because, you know, if you don't know how to drive, then don't, please. If you don't know how to park, then don't try. Sorry. That is just how I feel. That's probably going to go in the bloopers. I won't put that in my video. Because, man, those kids, they like to cross the street while we're sitting there parking, and sometimes we have to wait for them to cross in front of our car, and there's nobody in front of us. I'm like, that's what the crosswalk is for. Ugh. Sorry, that's probably gonna go to bloopers again. I always say make more, because I might want to add a couple more rows just to make it a little longer. So you buy 2 because you're being responsible. But also for your... Why do I keep losing stuff? Oh, here it is. What the heck? I lost something. Oh, there they are. Focus. The Lucy Ricardo Show. I don't know. Woo! That is it for me today.